Well, hello again here from the hot seat, and it is great to have you here. Today we have an extraordinary young man. He's a guy I bumped into a little while ago, and he's a passionate man trying to help business owners with grant writing, etc. But he is just an all-round good guy, and I just want to bring in Zack. Zack, come on into the hot seat, my friend.
How you going, Kel?
Mate, I am going awesome, bud. Awesome. So we've known each other. What's it been about? Probably 6 months, I suppose, since we first met up through NEI. So that's been a bit of a journey for us, and it's been, it's always good to network together. And yeah, so this is now my time. Like, we've actually done a lot of business stuff, and I've never really got to know you. Now, who's Zack? So how about you actually just tell us a little bit today about who you are and what's your background? Yeah, that'd be awesome to actually hear a bit more about that.
No problems. It's been quite some time we know each other, and it was a great journey actually to work together. So basically, I am Zack Obaid. I am originally a civil structural engineer, and I've always been passionate about how the small businesses grow and how they go into the journey from the small idea that they turn to be a huge business that can dominate the market. And from there, I've met lots of small businesses, and that's how I started to communicate with entrepreneurs and get their ideas, understand how it works from their end. Beside my engineering work and being part of project management and contracts management, and obviously that gave me a skill to be able to being very have very strong attention to details and going into depth on the documents that we receive, and going into depth in when we apply for a tender or when we win a tender. And I used to go back and see why did we win it, and how we went from unsuccessful to successful, and going through the details from that perspective. That made me not just being in that section, but I've always been involved in panels to review those contracts and the tenders that we go through. It made me think of, okay, I've got those skills, but I still don't know how it's going to work from my end. Mm-hmm. And always my passion was obviously freedom, to be free from 5 days a week work, and 7 hours a day or 8 hours a day, and sometimes goes more than that, and working for someone else to be successful in his tender. And not just that, understanding how is that going to benefit me. Yeah. And getting understanding of this is was the idea of tenders and grants, and I already got that skills, but how do I start from there? And I've met a few people that they have worked in coaching, business coaching, and all of that, and obviously that they gave me the how it works, because they work with various people in businesses, and they told me, you've got what's out there that no one can find it. Lots of people out there, they don't know how it all works of what you do. What you do is literally no one else can do it. Yeah. And I didn't know that, obviously, because I've never been involved in other businesses, how they do their work. And they told me, you've already got the skills. That's something really every business needs it, and you already got it, and you've got the skills. You know how it works. You know the formula already. So why don't you don't start on your own, and that's already built in you. And that's how it all started.
That's how it all started. And that's where I come down to. So, yeah, I've got a background in the not-for-profit sector, and yeah, a lot of grant writing and all that type of stuff. And a lot of business owners go out there and they want freedom. They go out there and get freedom, and they work their guts out, but they don't see the grant writing because in their mind it's hard. All right, because it is a skill. It is a rare skill. So let me just ask, how many business owners, we don't know the exact numbers, how many people do you talk to, as a percentage maybe, that actually go ahead and get a grant? This is going to be a very interesting number to the folks listening, because you talk to a lot of people about, oh, I want to get a grant, I want to get a grant, I want to get a grant. How many actually start the process?
Look, I'll just be very honest with you. 90% of the people that they do it on their own,
yeah,
they're not usually successful, because they don't know, usually they don't know how to do it, and they give it to someone else, usually in their team, and usually someone does the administration work, and they're not skilled in that area at all. They've never worked on it before. They've never been in a panel before. So they don't really know the formula. It's not about just sending a document. It's not, and usually it's not about, you have to apply. That's the big key down there. It's not every grant suitable for every business. And that's where they have to get someone, a specialist, to review of their business strategy, and how they can grow based on that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. What you just touched on then is, I think, is the biggest key mistake a lot of business owners, they get, in some respects, desperate to grow. They get desperate for cash. And so they see a grant and they go out there and they spend a lot of time doing it, but they do it poorly. All right. And basically all they're doing is wasting their time, because they're not successful at it. But also I find, I call it true north, like if you have your strategic plan in place, you know exactly where you want to go, you get the grants to fit that. And most of the work is done. Once you've got that business plan in place, the grants will come. You go, oh, that fits my plan. You don't make your plan fit the grant.
Exactly.
Which is where it is. And I think this comes back down to what Hot Seat's all about, is about understanding your why. So if you get your why right, you get your true north, your direction, your mission and your vision crystal clear, you're probably 80% of the way there to actually getting grants. But that's where most people, they just trudge it out and they just don't do it. So tell us about the success stories. You don't necessarily have to use names. So tell us some of the success stories. We might talk to people about some of the stuff we're doing together as well.
Exactly. So I guess I can call a few success stories recently. One of my clients, they wanted to be part of a government panel. And the panel wasn't really focused on what they do. And so from what they told me about their business, it's quite different from what the panel are asking for. But when they sent through the actual documentations and the information about their business, what I realized that all the business is focused on the exact panel of what the panel are looking for. However, the idea that they have, it's quite hidden in their documentations of what they do, and about, they're passionate about the minor stuff on their business, but the main solid part of the business, that's not really focused on. And that's what the exact panel was looking for. So I had to dig in and get this information out of that about their business, and put it out there, inform them that you can do what the panel are asking for, but you are focused on the minor parts of your business, because your business is branched everywhere, without talking about the main items that you can provide. And it's already there, you already provided as a business. And they were successful straight away, because I put it all together for them. And they are now in government panels. So anytime they get a contract, they get a request for tender straight away from the government. Plus, obviously, the work we are doing in grants.
Yeah, and that's the beautiful thing, is once you actually get one, you then become an invited guest to all the other ones. That's the key, And some people go, gee, it's a lot of work to get that $5,000, $10,000, $20,000. that was a lot of work. I wouldn't do that again. However, if you do that work the first time, the second, third, fourth, fifth time is a lot easier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's
You just
why
you got to get that piece right. As you said, you got to dig in deep and.
true. That's why most of my clients are not just one-off. It's more of a regular relationship with them, and I usually have a Zoom meeting or face-to-face meetings where I can discuss with them what their business about. And believe it or not, the amount of if they're really passionate about their business, that really comes out on the document itself, and it definitely reflects on the reader when they read the documents about their grant and tender. If they can't resolve the issue, that the whole world can resolve it, because their business can, the only business can resolve it. That's how they should be passionate about their business.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And be focused. You know, like you cannot, like no one business can do anything. Like a lot of people said to you, you do seem to do a lot, Kel, but I've got 3 different businesses. Each business is very, very focused on what it does. They just work differently. So just because I'm the head, it doesn't make any difference. But you gotta be able to segment those marketplaces and really articulate what you do, and don't confuse anybody when they're reading it. You know, like, oh, what's this person actually do? You know, that's got to be crystal clear.
Sure.
So, mate, I'm going to ask you, what's one of the hot tips you'd have for our listeners today? And then we're going to tell them a little bit about what's coming up.
Yeah, so I guess the one of the biggest tip that I should give it to every business is to get your understanding of what you do and be passionate about it, and that's how it reflects on your documentations. It's not about what's out there. It's what you can do as a business, and everything, as you mentioned, it will attract lots of grants, lots of tenders, because you know what you're doing. You know how to resolve issues that no other business can resolve, and you have that trust on your business, and that's how it attracts everything together.
Yeah, and what you said is you had these skills, even yourself. You know, you're an engineer, you're a project manager, you'd built up all these skills, and it was sort of like this aha moment for you. Yeah. That all these skills has now created a very successful business model. All right, and you needed a couple of coaches and a couple of people to help you, get that established, which has been great. And it's the same for any business. They've got to know what their core skill is, what they're good at. You know, what's his guy? Jim Collins, Good to Great book, fantastic book. Understand what you're good at, understand what you're passionate about, and then work out how to make money out of it. That's purely and simply the way it is.
Exactly. And believe it or not, you get ideas when you collaborate with other businesses as well. Understand how they work, how they run their businesses, and you'll get ideas from everyone. Like the collaboration is what we have in our network group. It's just amazing how we discuss everything in details and share information, share ideas. That's how it should be as a network group, and how we collaborate together.
Yeah, and so I guess we've got some stuff that are coming up together. We're going to be doing some grant and tender writing webinars and seminars and stuff like that around the country, trying to help some people to really nail down what it is that they're about. All right, so I'll be doing some free ones, and there'll be some other ones where people can actually get your services and be able to make a real difference. So I'm looking forward to those. But I guess what I wanted to say to the folks is the importance of growing relationships, and what's happened between myself and Zack. And this, I'll give you a bit of a swelled head, mate. When I met Zack the first time, he stimulated something in me that's always been there, that had been pushed to the bottom. All right. And so when I met him, he said, does the grant writing stuff. It resurrected that thing, that those grants and all that type of stuff that are out there. And so we went looking, didn't we? And we found one up on the Northern Territory, which is mind-boggling how much money the government up there is doing, particularly over in East Arnhem Land. And so, we're going to be getting into that. And so anybody that's out there listening with all your different services and bits and pieces, as we know that, get in contact with us, and we'd love to be able to include you to be able to help out as many of those businesses. And this place called Nullarbor, to give people a bit of an idea of it. It's a It's a mining town. Rio Tinto is there, and Rio Tinto is leaving in a couple of years. And so this whole town is built around the mine. And so the government has given them a lot of money to be able to re-establish themselves and become self-sustainable as businesses moving forward when the mines leave. And they're looking at other forms of tourism and hospitality and stuff like that. So a massive opportunity, but make sure, as Zack said, what's your focus? What are you good at, right? And if that's what you're good at, give us a yell. If you've got something you can offer in that tourism and hospitality sort of section, all right, give us a yell and we'll actually definitely put you on the list to be able to help out with that sort of stuff. Zack, it has been awesome, mate.
No worries. Yeah. Thank you so much. And I'm very keen to, work more and more through your panel. And we're going to do a lot of good work together.
I'm sure, mate. Just look out for folks. We are coming for you, and we're going to get some of this money from the government. You know, he's had huge successes, and I'm sure he's going to keep on that coming as well. So thank you very much, then, Zack. I'll talk to you again very soon, buddy.
No worries. Thank you.
Okay, bud. So that was Zack Obaid. Zack, as I said, a young man with a skill that most people underestimate. And so we want to make sure that we support him and also support our own businesses. If you are out there working your guts out and you're in business and you're trying to make a go of it, working harder is one way, but working smarter is a better way. And so working smart, if you can actually tap into some government funding, all right, without taking lots of resources away from you, it is a great way to be able to leverage your time. All right, so you get time back, you get some resources in there, and you can actually take your business to a whole new level. It's exactly what we're about to do here at the Transformational Hub, and Zack is a big part of that. So again, thank you very much, Zack. We'll talk to you again soon, folks. That's all for Hot Seat this week. See you next week.